Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Akash Khobre and today I'll be helping you all how to program leap year in UiPath. So let's begin. So before that we need to know what is leap year. So let's check the mathematical condition for leap year in Google. So generally a leap year is one in which February has 29 days. So if we see the mathematical condition, it appears in every 4 years. So to be a leap year, the year must be divisible by 4, except the condition for end of century years, that is like 1800, 1900, 1200, 2000, 2100, 2400, 2800. For such years, it must be divisible by 400. For example, if you take 1900, it is divisible by 4, but still it is not a leap year because it is not divisible by 400. So we need to write a program in such a way that if it is a leap year, the program must stop, and if it is not a leap year, the program must ask to enter the year again. So I hope you all got the condition for leap year. So the year must not be divisible by 4. So the year must be divisible by 4 except for the end of century years, which must be divisible by 400. So we'll open the UiPath and start writing the program, or just start making the program for leap year. So this is the latest version of UiPath, that is 2021.10.5, and I'll create a new process first as YouTube 01, and I will write it as description as my first YouTube video on leap year. You can write any description as you want, and I'll select the location to my desired path, that is in disk, and create. So it will take few minutes to create the workflow, and within few minutes we'll start the program, how to create a program for leap year. So we'll create this in a flowchart so it will be feasible for us to understand. So I'll name it as assign 01 and create. So now the flowchart is created. Now to take the input from the user, that the year must be stored in somewhere, and perform mathematical operations, we need to take input dialog box first, connect it with the start, and double click on input dialog box. Name the dialog box like leap year calculator. Input label as and the year. Then this year must be stored somewhere in some variable. So first I'll create a variable called y and variable type as integer. So that's it. So now we can write here as y. So the value entered by the user will be stored in y variable. Go back to assign 01, and now I want the user to enter the year in 4 digit, and if it is not 4 digit, we need to give the user a message dialog box that to please enter the year in 4 digit format. So for that I will take a flow decision over below the input dialog box, connect it, and condition what I'll be writing is like y greater than equal to 1000 and y less than 10,000. So that means y must be 4 digit, and click on OK. So if this condition is false, in the sense if it is not a 4 digit, we need to give the user a message box. We need to give an output like please enter the year in YYYY format. That is enough to convey the user to enter the year in YYY format. So first we'll connect this over here. This is the false condition and it should ask the year again. So I'm connecting back to input box. So now if the condition is true, in the sense if it is 4-digit, we need to perform calculations. To perform calculation, I'm taking if else dialog box and dragging it and pasting it over here, and then we can connect this. If the condition is true, it should perform some calculations. Now first we need to check whether the year are end of century years. So for that I will double click on if and write the expression as if y mod 100 is equal to 0. Mod will give the remainder as 0. That means if the year is divisible by 100, then it is a leap year. It's not a leap year, then we have to check for another condition whether it is divisible by 400 or not. So for that, if y is mod 400 is equal to 0, then it is a leap year. So we'll drag the message box and drag it and paste it over here, and I'll enter as the year entered. So for that I'll write y dot toString. Y is a variable storing integers, so that's why I'm writing toString to convert it into string format, and this is a combination of string and variables, so you have to add plus y dot toString plus gap is a leap year. So that's it. And if it is not divisible by 400, then it's not a leap year. So drag one more message box over here and write y dot toString plus is not a leap year. Okay, so we are done with the conditions in which if the user enters end of century years, then we have to check for these conditions. If the user enters other numbers which are not ending with 00, then we need to check other thing, that is if it is divisible by 4. So click on else and drag if dialog box in the else area. Here we'll be writing if y mod 4 is equal to 0, and if this condition satisfies, same dialog box we need to mention. So I'm copying this and pasting it over here. So y dot toString is a leap year if it is divisible by 4. Now click on show else, and if it is not, it is again not a leap year. So just copy this message box and paste it over here. So now I want the program to run once again if it is not a leap year. So the program must not terminate if it is not a leap year. So for that I am adding a variable called flag or f, and I'm selecting this as integer. Now this f scope must be for whole, that is assign 1. Now take the assign box, and if it is a leap year, I'm assigning f to 1, and if it is not a leap year, I'm assigning f as 0. Same way I'm assigning here, if it is a leap year, f is equal to 1, and if it is not a leap year, then it is f equal to 0. So in the way, instead of do while loop, I am creating the simplicity to make the program feasible. You might understand when I go back to flowchart, and if I create flow decision over here and connect it and write the condition over here as if f is equal to 0. That in the sense, if f is not a leap year, go back to input dialog box. Okay, and if it is a leap year, then drag the message box over here and say thank you and end the program. That's it, and connect the false statement to this message box. Right, so we are done with this program, and let's see how it works. So let's begin to execute this program of leap year. So first I'll save this and then run this file. So for example, if I enter the year like 201 and click on OK, it will say please enter the year in YYY format. It's asking me to enter the year in 4 digits. So once again, if I enter 0201, still it is not a 4-digit number. Again it will ask please enter the year in YYY format. So let's try for 2003 and check. 2003 is not a leap year, so again it must run the program. If I enter 1900, which is divisible by 4 but still it is not a leap year, let's check for it. Yes, it's showing it's not a leap year. Again, if I enter 2024, which was the recent leap year or will be a leap year, and yes, 2024 is a leap year and the program must stop by now. That's the message box saying thank you and the program has been stopped. So I hope you all understood how to create leap year program in UiPath with using flowchart and if statements. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful to you all. Please subscribe to my channel and comment below if you have any doubts, and this is Akash Khobre signing off. Thank you guys.